Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Bobby's Big Board. Real quick, I just wanted to go over my initial reactions of day one of the 2025 NFL Draft. Just got done doing a really fun watch party over at the Fantasy Football Strategist YouTube channel. Y'all should definitely come check us out tomorrow for day two. But I just wanted to go over some of my favorite picks of the first round and least favorite picks of the first round. Just a quick video just to kind of give you guys some of my initial thoughts before I do my rankings later on next week. So first and foremost, I'm kind of just going to touch bases on all the fantasy players in the first round. So first overall, Cam Ward, like I said, don't think it was a surprise to anybody. The landing spot's a little iffy for me just because of the talent around him. I think Cam Ward, like I've said in other videos, upside through the roof, but it just depends on how the coaching staff in Tennessee does with him. I hope that they can develop him and make him a very good starting quarterback at the next level, but it's going to be iffy. Now, the next biggest one was Travis Hunter. The Browns traded back from 2 to 5, traded back up. The Jaguars traded back up, right, to the number 2 spot and took Travis Hunter. I think this is one of the best landing spots he possibly could have gotten. He doesn't have to be the number 1 receiver. I don't want him to be the number 1 receiver. BTJ is great, and Travis Hunter can be your underneath guy, your intermediate guy, and he's also probably going to play a good bit of defense as well, but he's also going to be a need on the offensive side of the ball, so I love that. Up next, Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders. I was saying this all day. I think that's a great pick for the Raiders. I mean, obviously, they needed a running back. They could not roll out there with Zamir White and Sincere McCormick. Respects to those backs, but Jeanty is by far and away more talented. I think he is going to be a workhorse next year, and he will probably be a top 8 fantasy running back in his rookie season. Tetairoa McMillan goes 8th to the Panthers. The Panthers were in a weird spot. We really didn't know what they were going to do because they had a ton of needs. They go Tet McMillan. I love this landing spot. I think he ends up playing the slot here, so RIP to any Jalen Coker believers. I think he ends up being a big slot, at least in his immediate rookie season. I think he's a top 3 rookie pick in rookie drafts, so keep that in mind. The interesting one was Colson Loveland, a pick that I didn't really love too much. Y'all know he was my tight end 3. I will say he's probably the best real life tight end in the draft class, just due to his overall balance as a tight end. I mean, Cole Kmet is not too far removed from a 7-touchdown, 700-yard season, I believe. Colson Loveland is probably the guy thereafter next year. I don't perceive them to go too much in terms of 12 personnel just because of the receivers that they have, but maybe they do a lot of 12 personnel where they utilize him. He's a top 10 pick, so I would assume they use him a lot, so that's going to hurt Cole Kmet's fantasy outlook, at least for this coming year, until they trade him or they cut him or whatever. So that was a little confusing pick. That's one of my, lesser favorite picks in this round. Moving forward, a tight end. One of the tight ends was going to get this horrible landing spot, and unfortunately, it's my tight end 1 in Tyler Warren. The QB situation's horrible. It's a very crowded pass catching room, right? You have Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell, Michael Pittman. And now Tyler Warren gets into this mix. I think he's a late first-round rookie pick now. I thought he could have been a mid-first-round rookie pick, but with this landing spot, it's just tough. So I'd rather probably go with wherever Harold Fannin goes if I'm wanting to go tight end, and you can get that in the early to mid-second round. Moving on. Emeka Egbuka, tough landing spot for him because he's probably going to be the 3rd option. Definitely makes sense for the Buccaneers, right? They kind of need a slot guy. like I said, I've said this all over Reddit. Jalen McMillan was not impressive to me, and I guess the Buccaneers felt the same way, and they go Emeka Egbuka, and he's going to be their new slot guy. Fantastic person, elite route runner. He's my wide receiver 4. Probably gets bumped down my rankings a little bit just because of how crowded that receiver room is. I will say his future outlook is very good, though, just because Mike Evans is probably only playing another year, and we don't know how long Godwin plays as well. Next skill position was Omarion Hampton to the Chargers. Probably my second least favorite first round pick in terms of fantasy relevant players. Najee Harris is there, and he's getting paid a pretty good chunk of change, which makes me think Najee and Omarion Hampton are both going to be splitting carries, at least for this first year. Obviously, if Najee was not there, it is one of the best landing spots possible for him. I think after they move away from Najee next year or the year after that, I think Omarion Hampton is a mid to high-end RB1 in fantasy, so that's solid. But overall, as of right now, he's not a high upside running back as of right now. And then I'll go ahead and say it. The Packers had my least favorite pick of the first round in Matthew Golden. Like I said, he's my wide receiver 7, much lower on him than consensus. And the Packers is probably the worst spot he could have gone to. I would have rathered him be a slot or a Z. Both of those spots are taken up by Dobbs and Jaden Reed, so he's likely to play the X role. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I could totally be wrong. But yeah, he's just another wide receiver 2 in a room full of wide receiver 2s. I think in Jordan Love, like I said, if you look at his advanced stats on accuracy, it's been awful. I don't think Matthew Golden, I think his ceiling now is like a mid wide receiver 2, at least on his rookie contract. If he goes to another team that's a better fit, maybe he sees more work. All right, this might be my favorite pick of the first round outside of Travis Hunter. Sorry, I'm a little tired, guys. It's been a long, exciting day of draft. Jackson Dart goes 25th. The Giants trade up into the second round. The Giants trade up into the first round again. So they got Abdul Carter early on at 3. Jackson Dart comes in and gets taken at 25th overall by the Giants. So I will say for both Shadur Sanders and Jackson Dart, I think that they need a year to develop behind a veteran. And the Giants absolutely do this. You know, I said Milroe could be a good spot in the second round to develop, right? Jackson Dart has the highest upside of any quarterback in this draft, not named Cam Ward, obviously. And he just makes some stupid decisions sometimes, you know, doesn't like to run out of bounds, takes a bunch of unnecessary hits. He's going to learn behind Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. And he's not going to play his rookie year. He might play the last couple games, maybe. They might throw him in there the last couple games. This is a perfect landing spot for Jackson Dart. And with Dayball doing what he did with Josh Allen, this is going to be awesome for Jackson Dart. I would say he's a mid to late first round rookie pick as of right now. Closer to mid first round for me, especially if you're in a rebuild and you're not expecting production out of your quarterback year 1. I think that's all of the fantasy relevant players. Overall, I think Jackson Dart's probably my second favorite. Travis Hunter is my favorite. My least favorite landing spots, probably Tyler Warren and Matthew Golden. Omarion Hampton's a weird one, at least for short term. I think long term, it's a fantastic landing spot. But let me know in the comments who you think y'all's favorite first round draft picks are, whether it's fantasy relevant or not. I'd love to hear you guys' picks. If you guys are interested in looking at a draft party tomorrow, I'll be doing it on the Fantasy Football Strategist. probably at 6, right when it starts. So if you guys are interested in that, please stop by. We'd love to have you. And outside of that, thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hey.